I think there's three big issues for CMOs to think about today. The first of those is how do we get the best possible young people to come into the marketing profession. I don't think anybody decides in secondary school that they want to be a marketeer. It's a very, very small group of people. I think marketing has this not very attractive reputation for lack of ethical behaviour and the manipulation of people. And then, of course, younger people don't understand they can't see a professional career path in marketing. So I think one of our huge challenges is to get the best young people into marketing. You know, largely with young people, that boils down to CAO points. How can we get people with higher points into the program? The second issue, I think, is this challenge of executive development in companies. I don't believe that companies are actually investing sufficient time, but particularly resources, in developing their talent when it's actually in the organisation. The reason for that is that they very often think of executive development as paying for individuals to go on courses. But of course, the return for the organisation is actually relatively low in that situation. What needs to be done is for them to have situated learning in their own organisation, where they focus very definitely on the metrics. The third big challenge for me is sort of the same kind of issue. It's ethics and diversity. We need to focus on a restorative approach to ethics. Marketing has damaged society in significant ways. Of course, had enormous benefits. We would say have benefits that far exceed the downside. But from a societal point of view, I'm not sure that equation is balanced out. We need to try and restore ethical practice. We need to restore our contribution to society in a significant way. And I think we need to think about diversity as not a simple count of the number of women or the number of people with physical challenges or the number of people from different countries. We actually need to make sure that marketing is actually an equal discipline, where regardless of your physical ability, your gender, or where you come from, you are paid the same salary and you have the same access to opportunities within the profession. Those for me are the three big challenges. I think the biggest challenge is the issue of data. I think data has the potential, the idea of quantum computing, the power that computing will have, not in 50 years' time, but in the next 5 years, the power that the processing of data has to change how we go about the task of marketing. Now, of course, of itself, that's not something that we should be afraid of, but I think there are two difficulties with it. First of all is how do we learn about this, because this is actually taking place in another part of the organisation with people with different skill sets to us. And the second thing is how do we get the kind of young people who have this skill set and orientation to come into marketing. Effectively what we need to do is to change, and this is an Irish problem, we need to change the orientation of young people who are thinking about careers in marketing, but they like marketing because it is not quantitative or not financial, to attracting those quantitative and financial people to come into marketing because there are great opportunities for them. That is how we deal with this quantum computing or big data kind of challenge. One of the exciting things and attractive things about marketing is that it's consistently changing. You know, what we teach in marketing, I think today is totally different to what we taught 5 years ago. And the best marketing leaders are the ones who continuously are searching the margins, the edge of the iceberg, as it's sometimes called in a cliched fashion. So I think when we think about dealing with all these challenges that we face, first of all, these are positive challenges, not negative challenges, the challenges of growth. And secondly, look to the margins to encourage us to cooperate with organisations like the Marketing Institute. This is and should be a centre within which cooperation happens. Partnership with universities, institutes of technology, all higher learning institutions. The opportunity to collaborate to look at the margins, and then the opportunity to look outside our own discipline, to finance, to technology, to operations, again to see how they are solving these same kind of problems. That's how I would tackle this issue.